meeting, and I want to open something for you. Okay. Share. Okay, this one. Share. Okay. So you answer me as I see. You cannot always get good communication with children. Yes, why? Why always cannot be a good communication with children? You are not on the good mood, or what's happened? At first, because you are not educated, yes, well, and you are not professional psychologist for the children. The second is that children change their mood very fast and everything can scare them. And the third one is that every changing in the disease can change the mind of your child, not your, but patient. So it can be as well. Okay. Next question is how to work with the children patient, and do we need some relatives to help us with children? Come on. I'm waiting for answer. So I gave questions that when you speak with the children and you have patient like children, is it useful? Is it by rules a good idea? How to work with children? Do we need some relatives to be in communication, like third side? Or it is, or is it not important? Okay, why? Why we need another relative? At first, it's juristic, yes, kind of, because a child till it will grow up and become adult cannot do some decision, and some decision maker must be somewhere adult person relative to the child. If not, some psychologist must be involved in process to explain everything about the child and their situation. Yes, my dear, sometimes children cannot explain you what's happened, how it's developed, and so on. Great. So you remember something, it's not bad, you will read it more carefully. Today we will speak about where is it? It's here. Internet era. Yeah? So we speak about the communication with the patient when you are sitting in front of your patient, how you have to sit on the side of your patient, how you have to communicate, which kind of voice you have to take, and so on and so what kind of question must be given, what kind of decision must be done, yes, who is decision maker, what is the best way to do a decision together, or separate by, or only by the teacher, by doctor, or and a lot of questions like this. So we spoke about this passion. Now it's new kind of internet era. It means that in 21st century and nowadays new situation with coronavirus gave us opportunity to develop these skills as well. So what's happened? We cannot communicate to each other. We cannot communicate with doctors so freely and easily like we did it previous. So the best way that is shown right now it's internet. But internet has its opportunity, good sides and bad sides as well. So let's see. Internet and the DP relationship. The internet is rapidly changing the doctor-patient relationship. By providing access to medical information, online medical advice, computer-based home monitoring system, and online support group, the internet is making it possible for patients to assume much more responsibility for their own health care. So, in this part, let's do it bigger. In this part, what is so important? The first point is that something changed, how it changed. Of course, something changed. You cannot see your patient as it was previous. You cannot communicate, you cannot feel the patient fully. You cannot touch him if you need some examination as well. Yeah, you can. You have only to rely on the words of your patient. So it changed a lot in communication. Next point is that online medical advice, computer-based home monitoring system, and online support groups. So what it means? It means that advice that you give, you remember when your patient sit nearby, you have to compare, to share your ideas with patient, and must be sure that your patient understood what you are speaking about and how it will work with your advice. Will he follow, he or she doesn't matter, will your patient follow your advice or not? Is it possible to rely on your patient? Yes. So, but if it is only by computer, so here must be not only advice, but then it must be some feedback, because you cannot only rely on the words of your patient that it happens. Why? Because this barrier, like screen between us, between patient and doctor, change a lot in communication. So must be computer-based home monitoring system. Home monitoring, it means that you have monitored your patient. And support group, online support group. What it mean online support group? Can you explain me? How do you think what is online support group? I think everyone has this kind of support group in Facebook, or I don't know which one, Instagram or other kind of you use. Yeah. So it's the person who is nearby and follow your answer, or help you with some discussion and so on. So let's see then. Internet is making it possible for patients to assume much more responsibility for their own health care. For sure, if in the hospital, in the ambulance, patient coming to you, take all response on the doctor. Now screen is between them. So everything that doctor gave you like advice, it's only your responsibility to follow and to change your life, not others. In hospital, someone like nurse and the other can help you, can give you this medication, but it cannot be done in computer uh, communication, kind of. Okay, let's take some information how many patients use internet. In course, it's given some kind of report for 2 years before, so you can increase it twice, and I think it will be normal. So 52 million Americans. Nowadays, it will be around more than 100 million have used the internet to find information about diseases, medical treatment, and the availability of clinical trials. So, good and bad side of internet is that you can find everything here. You will write, you type something or speak something. We have some kind of that answers your speech as well. So, and a lot of a full list of answers will come. You will open the site and find the answer on your question. Good. But can you relay? This is another side. Because as for me, when I am looking something like videos, maybe for perfect lecture or some pictures maybe, or some diagram as well, I check a lot of sites to find only one picture for you, which will be useful to you and can answer on all my questions. Why, my dear? Because, how to say, I cannot say that everyone is stupid and only I am so clever, not, my dear, but it is some differences that I do not want right now, maybe, or I do not need for you on this step, or it's not important, or is not in use from some period or from in our countries as well. Yeah, so many questions and many problems exist when you're checking something in the computer, in the internet. So it's good that you can find answer, but is it answer is not always the right one you need. So about 55% of the internet users survey had assessed health information, but only 9% of those who use the internet for health-related reasons had exchanged email with their physician. If you remember nowadays, when you find some specific site for from doctors, he has always is given like telephone sign of telephone. You can touch it and can communicate with a physician on the site and speak with them and so on. Yeah, so it's given the information that 55% read information, but only 9 relay and email the physician and exchange the information they took from internet. Information technology provides patients with access to health-related information, allowing them to exert much more control over their own health care and ever before. What it means? How do you think what it means? Can you write me, my dear, how you understand these words? I will show you once again. Information technology provides patients with access to health-related information, allowing them to exert much more control over their own health care than ever before. Who can answer me? Salome, cannot you answer me? It means if you read something You can find in computer a lot of advices for you, how to be healthier, wiser, and so on. Yes, and it's only once again your responsibility to follow or not this kind of. Okay, nothing more. Let's go. Internet-based medical services. What kind of services can be? In the United States, and we will speak about the America always when we begin this kind of uh, dialogue, internet-based medical services are used by an increasing number of patients. America's doctor has contracts with more than 142 physicians who provide basic health-related advice. So, what is good and bad here? Bad is that you do not know your physician, you write something on the side, yeah, maybe. Good is that it's communication between 142 is said, but it's much, much more big amount of physicians nowadays, yes, who are communicate to each other, and not only in America, it's pretty all over the world right now, my dear. How it works, my dear? It works like if I'm sitting here right now and speaking with you, and your situation to me it's slightly difficult, or I do not remember perfectly, or I have some doubt how to treat you, I will send this to this communication, this society, and they will discuss, everyone will discuss, and one of them maybe will have the most clear idea, or in this discussion will be find the right way of treatment, okay? So maybe some new examination exists, and it's done only maybe in Italy or maybe in Spain, who knows, yes? And I had no idea about it. Or some new treatment that exists for this kind of diseases. So this communication between the physician will give me an opportunity to treat my patient more comfortable and more right way. Once again, America's doctor contracts it not only by the friendship communication with more than 142 physicians who provide basic health related advice. Understand? Yes? So provides online group discussion with medical experts on various topics, as I said to you. Kyberdos, which was started cyberdogs, excuse me, in 1996. Can you imagine how far away it begins? Offers consultation or virtual house calls, which board certified physician for $50 to $100 a session. By 1999, these online services reported an average of 3,000 online visits per day, or about 100,000 per month. So this kind of communication and this kind of society is in every country right now, yeah? And it develops and multiplies in numbers. Medical informatics, who is a consumer? The traditional emphasis of medical informatics has been to provide information and decision support tools to professional healthcare providers. Professional healthcare providers. Understand? Yes? Here is nothing for play. Currently, there is an increasing emphasis on consumer informatics. This new branch of health informatics attempts to provide consumers in their role as patients with direct online access to health informatics to help them better manage their health decisions. For example, medical house call is a decision support system for consumers derived from lead, originally designed to assist physicians in decision making. The system consists of four programs: symptom analysis, medical encyclopedia, drug interaction, and medical record. So, is here any question about this portion? I think everything is very simple here. I want to stop on the house call. House call is a decision support system, yes? What's happened here? You call, you have some communication with the society, and here is four portions from which it consists: symptom analysis, medical encyclopedia, drug interaction, and medical report. So, Internet and democratization of knowledge. What it means, democratization of knowledge? Guys, wake up. What it means, democratization of knowledge? What it means, democratization? Democratia. Guys, write me back. Oh, how lazy and sleepy are you? Sanat, please. Wake up. Okay, the potential for patients themselves to influence the interaction has been supported not only by information from a myriad of websites, but also a formal training aimed at improving patients' ability to be more skillful in handling the consultation, to express their ideas, information, and involvement needs. I want you involving in process. Now we have perfectly online communication. And this is what I am reading for you. I know that you do not know exactly, my dear. I do not give you marks for it. I want your idea how it is. Democratization, it means spreading for everyone and opportunity for everyone. Yeah? Democracy, it means when people decide what to do and how the way will be. Yes? So, if it is, so what we can say about the democratization of knowledge? It means that knowledge must be for everyone. Yeah? Am I right? Okay, my dear. So, knowledge must be given to everyone. But as I say, knowledge that you can read in the Google not always is right. Not always is useful to you. Sometimes it mess your mind as well. So what to do? See what is given here? Patients themselves to influence the interaction has been supported not only by information from a myriad of websites. Yeah, myriad of websites, a lot of information. We say that not every information is useful to us, but also formal training aimed at improving patients' ability to be more skillful. It means that to understand the ways and understand what is right, what is wrong. In handling the consultation to express their idea, as well handling the consultation to express their ideas, information, and involvement needs. It means that when you read a lot and a lot of knowledge is coming to you, you have mass, yeah? And you have now to divide what you want perfectly, very clearly, what you need for it, where to find the information, and which information you have to relay, and how to express and interact by internet with opponent as well. So, consultation to express idea. It means that you have a lot of ideas, but you have now to be skillful in the way how to explain your idea, how to give your idea to other person, send it to other person. I can speak like, oh my god, the temperature, yes, yesterday temperature high, oh yes, fever kind of, what to do, it's my ideas, but when I speak with the opponent and perfectly by computer, I must be skillful in it. And here's myriad, as it said, websites where my skills can be improved. So I can say that. So last 2 days, temperature changing is 1 degree. In the morning, temperature is like I don't know, 37. In the evening, increased till 38. Then it fell till 36 and 9 in the night period. What else? So without pain and sweating. So is it more right way, yeah, to express and to understand? Yes, you are right. Thank you, Sanat. I read it only now. Maybe not always fits certain situation. Health literacy, defined as the cognitive and social skills which determine the motivation and ability of individuals to gain access to, understand, and use information in ways which promote and maintain good health. Patients with inadequate health literacy experience a complex array of communication difficulties that interact to influence health outcome. So, as I see, Sanad, you are interact with me more right way. Can you give me answer what it mean? Where is it? Inadequate health literacy experiences. What it mean? Right back, please. I'm waiting you. I think it once again is given to you, but now in another way. Literacy, it means some knowledge, some understandings how to do, how to say, some alphabet, how to read and understand the ideas. Yes, so not sleepy kind of. So inadequate health literacy experience, it means that patient read but cannot understand what is given to them. Understand? Cognitive and social skills, which determines the motivation, ability of individuals to gain access, understand, and use information in a way which promote and maintain good health. What to do for this? In any cases, this part is connected with the education program. So our social must be educated to communicate by the internet, but we cannot ask for it. Yes. So you must be prepared that not everyone is literacy who will connect with you by computer. Yes, he knows some skills, but it doesn't mean that he is educated in this particular portion. So, once again, look here. Social skills, cognitive and social skills. It means that sociums give you some idea from which social the patient comes, how patient understood your words and understood reading text which is given in the websites as well, and which websites this patient will relay. Understand? So it's very important to know about it, because when you will give some advice to your patient, it will be depend on this kind of skills as well. Your patient will go on the specific sites and follow their advice. So you have to communicate with patient to understand how to change his idea, or how to follow, to make him follow your prescription as well. Knowledge acquirer. Physicians need to be aware that patients who are interested in obtaining additional knowledge may not be motivated to participate in actual decision making. Understand? So physicians need to be aware that patients who are interested in obtaining additional knowledge may not be motivated to participate in actual decision making. This circumstance may reflect less assertive personality traits on the part of some patient. Consequently, the patient-physician relationship may more likely resemble the physician as agent model. I think nothing to explain here. In this case, the patient, the knowledge acquirer, provides some personal value to physician. By possessing the medical knowledge and learning about the patient's value and beliefs, the physician may then be the formulator of the final decision. Understand? So you gave opportunity your patient to understood what happens, and to in the period of decision be as a part of decision making. But you have to how to say, in the last portion is given right, by possessing the medical knowledge and learning about the patient's value and beliefs, the physician may then be the formulator, but not may, but have to be formulator of the final decision. So you gave opportunity to your patient to help you with decision, but you are formulator of the final ideas. You remember informed decision maker in other our skills? In one scenario, a patient may be motivated to become involved in the decision-making process and have access to additional sources of information about a particular illness as well as the treatments available. The informed decision maker. Remember, we spoke about it. Such a patient could be at an additional advantage by having access related information via the internet prior to meeting with a physician. Instead of utilizing scheduled time to provide the patient with basic knowledge, the physician may devote extra time to refining what the patient has learned and offering greater depth on treatment option. In this case, the physician should be prepared to decision alternative treatment options. What is shared decision making? The greatest impact on medical decision making may come from this increasing knowledge prior to the clinical encounter. Until recently, in the clinical visit, the physician had the sole responsibility for medical knowledge, whereas the patient was only accountable for his or her own preferences. Now, by more easily obtaining medical information prior to seeing their doctors, patients potentially have a different position in the decision-making process, possessing both preferences and knowledge prior to any physician contact. Is here anything new for you? I think we spoke about it and it's given in another word and connected with the computer error right now. Oh, medical codes of conduct. In the AMA's 1995 patient-physician covenant, physicians are reminded that physicians, as physicians, are not and must never be commercial entrepreneurs, gate closers, or agents of official policy or financial as well policies that runs counter to our trust. What it mean, my dear? Will it be internet era or will it be ambulance or hospital? You, like physician, will never be connected with some politic, money, or other organization. You must be free from this. You are and you have to be always on the side of your patient. Does not matter which kind of patient you have. I will say something maybe not very right, but will it be murderer, killer, or other way? Does not matter. You have to treat your patient. Understand? So, and never judge it. And it's first. You never have to be connected with a financial organization like in some countries we have some drugstores who ask physician to send only their drugs and give to physicians some benefit like extra bonuses or extra money. So you never do like this. Why? Because not every of your patient has the same amount of money, and it means that treatment for everyone must be the same. And you have to be polite because it's not dependent only on the money. Sometimes not our, but patient's brain, patient's idea is going so strange that if some the medication is expensive, it works, they think, and if it is cheap, not. But it, you know, as a physician, as doctors, that it's not connected with the money. It depends on the chemicals and medication which is inside the drug, yes, inside the pill or pills or tablets. So you have not to be connected with this kind of organization, not commercial, not politic kind of. As a politic, you know, and you remember maybe that in the middle of the 20th century was Second World War, where the only one kind of people with white color and blue eyes are the higher society, and other are nothing. Yes, so never connect with the politics or commercial organization, please. Every person is same to you. Okay, let's go then. Once again, physician as physician are not and must never be commercial entrepreneurs, gate closer. So for someone you are open, for someone closer, so or agent of fiscal policies that runs counter to our trust. You can find this one. It is given to you where to find Krakow, German, 1995. Medical course. Continue. Council of Medical Specialty Societies. The Council of Medical Specialty Societies consensus statement of 1997 remind physicians that the practice of medicine is rooted in a covenant of trust among patients, physicians, and society. The ethic of medicine must seek to balance the physician's responsibility to each patient and the professional collective obligation to all who need medical care. Once again, the practice of medicine is rooted in covenant of trust among patients, physicians, and society. So, what we say, like physician, you never must be connected with the money or politics. As well, the society which you will be close to must be the same idea of. Why? Because here must be some trust among patient, physician, and society. Understand? The ethic of medicine must seek to balance the physician's responsibility to each patient and the professional collective obligation to all who need medical care. Okay? I think nothing difficult is here. What about the ethics on the internet? It's a new era and something changed. So let's see how it was in the beginning and think how it's changed nowadays and how it will be in the future. Online entrepreneurs, business and medical rushed to cash in on the internet bonanza with its promise of great potential wealth. Investor and shareholder interests are often placed above the welfare of patients. These actions are in direct conflict with many of the exciting medical codes of conduct. Understand? So, in the beginning, it was some problems, and nowadays I said no, it's changed, if not fully, but dramatically. So, what's happened in the beginning? As it's given, it somehow depend on the money, because money is one of the most important part of wealth. So it's connected with it. Now it's changed. Let's see on this diagram medical internet ethics, merging diverse fields of study. See different color is given here. Let's see what it is and which one of them we need. Healthcare delivery, it means that delivery to everyone, yes? Applied computing, science and research, government agencies, healthcare services, e-commerce, end users, healthcare organizations, administration and management, medical law, medical ethics, and law. From this part, connect this one. Major areas needing guidelines in medical internet ethics. Doctor-patient, provider-patient, therapist-client relationship, online medicine, online therapy, online research, quality of information of medical and healthcare websites, ethical conduct of medical and healthcare websites, privacy and security. Measure results given by physicians for not using the internet more actively in managing patient care have to do with time and compensation. Not useful for patient education. Many doctors believe that only qualified medical professionals may adequately assess and interpret external sources of information. Will not increase productivity. I want you to interpret this one, my dear. Interpret this, please. Change it by your words for easy understanding, please. I want you to study thinking, analysis, and logical understanding. Not studying by heart. Come on. Sanad. I rely on you. I gave you 2 minutes. Okay, dear. I see. Come on.
I think the statement means if physicians, for instance, check up patients' problems online, it might give them like a variety of other different kinds of problems which he has to go through, and it takes a lot of time.
Interesting. Why not? So, think more careful here. Yes, some points that must be discussed by you more deeply. You gave a common shape of understanding. I want you to be slightly, not very, slightly deeper. Okay? But you are on right way. It's right way. Okay. Let's see then. Corporate healthcare moving forward. Healthcare providers are moving ahead with plans to incorporate the use of the internet into the provision of care. Kaiser Permanent is spending over 2 billion to move all of its operation onto the internet. Kaiser is creating a computerized patient record for its 9 million members. Also, all 361 of its clinics and hospitals and over 100,000 physicians, nurses, and dentists will be able to communicate with one another and with patients. Members of the health plan can use the system to search online for health information, obtain advice from nurses and pharmacists, request an appointment, or join an online decision group. Good idea. So, internet prescription, physician guided recommendation for online resources helps to avoid potential problems with patients finding incorrect information. Patients will look for a second opinion online but may give preference to a website that their doctor recommended. So from this part, the most important is that in front you will begin to find the description of some problem which you want to find in the internet. You have to communicate with doctor, and doctor will recommend some preferences, some specific sites where it will be given to you, or more right way, or easier way to understand, or simple way to say, or a more organized kind of. So, once again, physician-guided recommendation for online resources helps to avoid potential problems. What kind of problems can be? Some mistake done, yes, in the information, not full information, or old information as well. Yeah, I do not want to say that sometimes it's so stupid kind of that it's joke kind of to read it, but happens. So in front you will find the side better to speak, to communicate with your doctor and take advice. Internet age is altering the patient-physician relationship. If physician actively assist patients in the information gathering process, an improved relationship may result. Through the understanding of evolving professional roles, the decision-making process between physician and patient may improve with effort to share the burden of responsibility for knowledge. Medical Internet research is a rapidly expanding field. The Journal of Medical Internet Research is a good source to get a sense of what kind of research are being done. Now this is more idea, so let's see. So now short how it is overview of our today communication. 21st century Internet. Internet is in your mobile, and we have notebooks, and everywhere you can find this one. It's easy to communicate to each other because you avoid some communication with the inflammation and viruses. Like nowadays, it's a COVID problem in the world, and you better to communicate with computer, not face to face. Then internet help you to get to collect information about the question you have. Internet gave you skills of understanding, so it's good. But what to do? Right way will be to find the specific sites where the doctors are in society, in specific organization. So find your doctor, find the society where he's entered, and try to communicate and ask the question and took advice from the doctor. Why? Because if something happens, here is society of doctors who help each other with consulting or with decision making. So you can rely on this society more than the sites where it's only description of your problem and some advice of treatment. So never give your patients a way to treat themselves by how to say, by reading some sites only with decision which is made by your communication. So which kind of decision we have? So decision must be done collectively, but under the doctor's control. Okay, it must be collectively sharing the ideas and communication and make decision together. Why? Because your patient must follow your advice. If your patient has no idea what's happened, never will follow. And if patient will not follow your treatment, it means that patient will fail in the treatment, in the health position, in the way of health. So what will happen then? Some decision will be done, and we spoke about it, that which time your patient prefer to take the drugs, which kind drugs, liquid, pillows, tablets, injections he prefer, how many times a day he prefer to take this or that kind of medication, what to do then, want he to be at home, or is it the best way to stay in hospital, do he need any relatives to help him, or is it the way when the other people must stay some far place from the patient? Why? Because sometimes you rely on your relatives and they help you to make decisions, but sometimes they mess your mind. Remember this. Yes, so the same happens in the internet connection as well. Decision must be done under the collectively discussion, but under control of the doctor. The way the doctor wanted to it to be done. Then what about the relatives? As we have some relatives in the ambulance and hospital, someone is coming with you to help to do decision. The same happens in the internet era, and we have a lot of sites like the most easy one is Instagram or Facebook, where you have followers who help you, yes, who discuss with you something and so on. And this society, your own society, will help you, not you, patient, I want to say, to do some decision. Okay, this is the second part. Third part is some rules which you have to follow, like patient and like doctors. So it's the same perfectly that we have in the ambulance and hospital. So which one? Who remember? Information must be confidential. Remember? If your patient do not want to share it with someone, then full and doctor must not be connected with which organization, commercial or political organization. Yes, this is a 2 or 3 points which must be in your mind always and be studied by heart. Then, my dear, where we are. What about the knowledge? If your patient want to study something, want to read something about the disease or point to be more educated, in the beginning better to take advice from the doctor, which side better to enter to find the answers on the question. So why? Because not every site is useful to patient. Okay, so what is difference? The difference is only that it's more difficult to communicate because you cannot see, you cannot your patient sometimes. You cannot feel your patient as you feel if your patient is sitting nearby, his mood and so on. And you cannot rely on the words of your patient. This is difficulty. So now you have to check and take feedbacks from your patient. So monitoring is part of the internet era's communication with the patient. Okay. So do you have any questions on this part? Okay, what I want from you right now, not right now, but till next our meeting, I want you to find some specific sites. It does not mean that you have to enter the sites, but to find the sites of doctor societies in your own countries. Okay, show me this kind of and by them maybe some research which is more trustful in your country and which is less. Okay, less it can be in cause it's maybe very new kind of, but does not matter. I want all information of this kind of society, like it's given here. See, in the beginning it's given some sites. Oh my god, that's it. What's happened? Like America's doctors, maybe. Yes, you see, he has given the mail, not mail, address of them, how many doctors are in this society, how they are connected with each other, what it costs when it begins, and so on. This is this question, and how many patients visit per day or per month. This kind of ideas will be very interesting to us, which one is in your country, or take some specific country, does not matter. It's not obligatory to take some specific country. It can be England, it can be France, it can be America, it can be Georgia as well, does not matter. I think it's more interesting to you to find your country's societies, that's why. But does not matter if it will be another kind of, but I need your report next our meeting, what you find. It can be two, three, more is better, but not obligatory. Okay, so what else I want? This, I think the first four our presentation are uploaded because I sent it to Salome. If not, it will be for sure. It is sent to Salome, it must be uploaded. So now this one as well will be uploaded. So how many patients use the internet? Here is now old portion given to us, like 55 million, yes, for America, but nowadays everything changed. And I think we have multiplied, not two, but three, four times, not two times mainly, these ciphers. Okay, what else? About services we say, who is consumer? Who is consumer, my dear? Your patient, what your patient want from you, information and help. What kind of help and how to do. By point, you can do describe it, but what you will take from your patient and how it can be done. Of course, all kind of treatment must cost, yeah? So it must be cost effective for you as well. But do not forget that you have to help everyone. Democratization of knowledge, I want to know what it means, my dear. Okay, can you tell me democratization once again?
Making the knowledge accessible to everyone.
Once again?
I said making the knowledge accessible to everyone.
Oh dear, excuse me, something with voice happened. Can you write me? I cannot understand you. Voice. Yes, accessible to everybody, and it must be the right way accessible. Yes, not only that it's given to everyone. No, it must be a right way. What it means? You are physician or future physician. You are educated and now you study on the medical school, yes, or nearby, and you have this knowledge. What about the builder, worker, or other kind of? But we have to share information and knowledge to them as well, yes, and you are right, it fits everyone, so the knowledge must be given in the way to fit everyone here. You are right. So let's scroll down if some question exists. Literacy is the same what we spoke now. Knowledge acquirer, okay. In this case, a patient, the knowledge acquirer, provides some personal values to the physician. By possessing the medical knowledge and learning about the patient's values and beliefs, the physician may then be the formulator of the final decision. Okay. Shared decision making, this is the same ideas, only connected with the internet. Conduct AMA, better to read what is AMA, or if not, we will continue next our meeting. What is medical ethics on internet? That must not be connected with some specific organizations that destroy your trust between you and your patient. Main idea is. Okay, do you have any question for this part? Because from this part, from this presentation will be given some question as well. Not more deep, my dear, from this presentation, by the point, maybe some tricky kind of, but depend on this. I do not say about others, about this presentation, I do not need a book, okay? Okay, if you have no question, I will stop recording. We can speak without recording.